Hey, all right. Looks like we're live. Great. Welcome, everybody, to Collapsing with Casey. Man, what a time. What a fucking time it has been. I did some exciting interviews recently. So excited to put those out, man. I like doing interviews, really like doing interviews. Like I told you guys before, when I first, was really getting serious about doing this channel, doing this podcast, and I called up, my friend Guy McPherson, and I said, "Hey, man, I want to do this podcast show." And he was like, "That he was all for it, He was like, that's great. Just don't talk just about human extinction because nobody will talk to you." There was very good advice. He was absolutely right, and I knew that. But at the same time, I was like, "But what else is there to talk about?" So thankfully, over time, I've also been able to kind of, steer into anti-natalism. Meeting my friends over at The Right to No Longer Exist, and learn more about my philosophy. My personal philosophy and theory is that has always been: don't add life. Life, especially a human baby. I knew never to have a fucking kid. I just knew that. I saw overpopulation when I was 3 to 5 years old. I could see where we were headed, and kids being shouted out that were, I'd see like the world news. My parents, whoever would be watching the world news, and I'd be, sitting on the floor looking up at the looky box TV screen, and there'd be like I would see people that were very skinny, very hungry, very poor, and those people would be throwing rocks at all the people with the guns. And I was like, man, that's fucking horrible. And all the news and everything was for the gun people. I was like, wow, I want to know the story of the poor hungry people. The poor hungry people, probably more my kind of people. And that was, I could just see through all that shit. And I knew fucking never have kids. Um, and then you get older and you learn about all that shit. You learn how corrupt and disgusting the world really is, and everything is a fucking lie. Everything you're told is a fucking lie. Just like the poor, skinny people, malnourished people throwing rocks. It's like the last fucking energy they have. And even in the '70s. This is the fucking '70s I'm talking about. Um, it's so fucking dark and backwards and wrong and fucked up, and we just okay it. We okay everything, in this country because we're so privileged. Even our, not the poor in our country, because the poor in our country are still poor and impoverished and are fucked, absolutely, completely fucked in every way. And their superiors, their peers, their fellow citizens walk all over them every day and treat them like shit. The cops fucking throw them in jail because if you don't have enough money to have a place of your own to be at, to sleep at, then you're automatically a criminal and you're going to jail just for that. It's like, well, and that's why the fucking prison industrial complex, we're worth more money in prison, because in prison we're worth $40,000 a year in income to the prison system. People don't understand that. They think everybody in prison is criminal and they deserve to be there. That's fucking bullshit. These people, granted, there are murderers, there are rapists, there are pedophiles. I've come to light. I even know you used to work with a pedophile. I'll get into that. Now that pedophile is in jail, and good riddance. Only a 2-year sentence. Really, 2 years for trying to fuck a kid. But I'll get into that in a bit here. I just kind of wanted to. Whew, I got so much stuff to get off my chest. Like I was saying, it's so good to do these interviews, man. I've had really good talks with my friend Dan Kent. He just got back from Tampa Fringe doing a show. I love his title. I love Dan. Anything he does or says is going to be brilliant because he's a fart smucking dude. He's a smart fucking dude. I don't get fucking I've got so much to talk about, man. I'm just getting like, I'm twisting my fucking fart smucking dude. He's a smart fucking dude. Um, check out that interview with Dan. He just got back from Tampa Fringe. He's a playwright, and the title of his play is How to Party Like It Will Never Be 2029. Of course, we know that we won't make it to 2029, but the Prince reference, play on the Prince title. The song title is fucking brilliant. I love it. It's great. It's right up Dan's alley too, and right up my alley, and everybody that listens to this channel should definitely check out Dan's plays, his blog, Brooklyn Culture Jammers, and a couple interviews with Apple Blaze. Man, Blaze is the fucking shit. Goddamn, a guy, man. That fucking guy. Our second interview got pulled for medical misinformation via YouTube, and that's bullshit. We didn't even talk medical. We didn't give any medical advice. It was none of that. It was just fucking pure algorithm bullshit. And that's really, I know that for a fact. But there's no fucking support program to like try to, that's YouTube. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit organization, and there's no reason for that. YouTube has pulled my friend Sadnik pulled her channel. That's fucking bullshit. She had a great antinatalist channel. And the thing about it is, with that strike that I got from my second interview with Blaze, if I get two more, they pull the channel. Everything that I've done is gone. Unless I like re-download it, which I have to do. I need to go do that. But, hey, Joanne, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. I've kind of gotten stuff. So yeah, I wanted to. It's been like a month or more, I think, since I've had time to do a live stream where it's just me I got to get stuff off my chest. And I haven't, I've been doing interviews, and I've been traveling on Fridays and stuff like that. Well, tomorrow's Friday. Today's not even Friday. I was like, fuck it. I got all these notes I want to go through. I want to talk to you guys. I want to have a hangout session, and I want to get some stuff off my chest. I've got notes and notes and notes, and they're completely disarray, out of order. It's going to be a jump around show. I apologize for that ahead of time, but just share. I know many of us here share the general frustration of life and these bullshit jobs and this bullshit history, the lies we're told every day, everything, as it's all collapsing right underneath our fucking feet, at our fingertips, in front of our eyes. It's all fucking going down. I'll probably harp on this again at the end of the show too. Get your fucking exit plans together if you have not done that. I have not done that. I'm an idiot. I'm fucking myself by not having my exit strategy. I have the strategy, but I don't have all of the materials. And I just checked, and I'll have all the materials very soon. So that's one problem that money will solve for me, and for hopefully all of you, man. Anybody that listens to this channel who understands what I say, please don't get caught up and not look out for yourself and not have an exit plan, because somebody else will figure that out for you, or you'll suffer anyway. But if somebody else figures it out for you, you're going to suffer in their way. And that's never a good thing. Men are raped. Even the fucking men are raped in wartime and collapse and, and severe, severe dystopia. Lukewarm pigeon. I know who you are. I'm trying to place you, but Uh, you know what? I understand it is hard. It is hard. It took me it, it took me a long time once I figured out the real way to go, the best way to go. It took me. I sat on a lot of things and drug my feet. But we don't. I don't think we have time to do that anymore. Liquor pigeon. But you know, and no fentanyl. No, 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 no. That's fentanyl is from the street. You don't know the toxicity. You don't know the dosage. You don't know how it's been cut. That's dangerous. It's so fucking dangerous. And all this is in the Peaceful Pill Handbook. All this is in the Peaceful Pill Handbook. And and it's a lot to decipher. You have to pay for it. Don't go for the online versions because the online versions are fake and they're going to steer you down the wrong path. And Dr. Philip Mitchkey, he is our modern day Dr. Kevorkian, and and Philip, I've been on a private Zoom with him. I have my personal issues with him and stuff like that, but at the same time, I think he is for the good. I do think that he is wanting to help us, um, wanting to do the right thing, wanting to see the right thing, at all of our fingertips to be able to, to do, to complete. So, for that, I love Nitschke and his wife. They wrote the Peaceful Pill Handbook. That's your Bible, man. That's your Bible. Make that your Bible. And we talk about that, and we go over the details, and we can talk about all that a lot more in private on my private Zoom. So I'll talk about later too. I'll remind everybody about. I always throw a little plug in there because the private Zooms has helped me tremendously. If it's helped me, I know it's going to help you guys. So don't be shy. Join the Zooms. They're great. We've got some really incredible people. We've had guests on our private Zooms lately that have been massively, massively informative. So that's been really, really helpful. We went over, the Peaceful Pill Handbook. It took 2 weeks. It took 2 sessions for us to go over the Peaceful Pill Handbook. We went into it at detail, and it was great. It was very helpful, very educational. Oh shit. That's some bullshit right there. Sorry, I thought I heard my volume turned down. Goddamn. Oh great. Great. Lukewarm, you're already on the right track. But keep this in mind too, man, or woman. Sorry. Not anyway, I mean, I don't mean any harm. The, get your plan in order and get your ingredients, your parts, everything you need to implement that plan. Get it now. I don't know if one of my parts. It's a very critical part. Is about 2 weeks out and from delivery, and I hope that things maintain because shit is going nuts. On a worldwide global, World War scale, things are going out of control, fucking nuts. So we may not even have time. And who knows? Maybe you live close enough to a base, or something or a city or whatever that'll get flattened and nuked. But we can't. We can't. We don't have any control over that. We don't have any say over that. One thing we do have say over is suffering. For the most part, like if you're in your home and you got your stuff there, then you can kind of, do your own timeline or whatever. But if you're not, then you're at nature's will, and it's not just nature; it's the almost 8 billion nasty, nasty fucking human Homo sapiens that rule and run this earth and create all the terror. It's a fucked up scenario. So yeah, let's get into the title, man. So today's title is Bullshit Jobs, Protecting Pedophiles. Oh my fucking God. I just talked to one or two, one friend that I used to work with, a coworker from my last job. And this place I worked at for 7 or 8 years. When I started at the Atlanta branch, they have branches throughout the Southeast somewhat. Um, not a lot, 4 or 5 locations, maybe something like that. There, when I started out, it was things are small and I could handle the workload. It was, parts guy. I'm a parts guy, and one person could do the job, and it was difficult because a lot of parts are hard to find. They're very this is very specialized stuff, very specialized stuff. So these parts aren't easy to find. They're hard to get, and it's just it's a weird deal. But I put everything into it that I had because I've always tried to find the best job that I can find that's the most comfortable, right? And I knew I could do a good job here. But over time, the company grew. Our location moved down the street and got a much bigger building, many more mechanics, and as a parts person, the more mechanics you're feeding, the busier you're going to be just on that. Well, we also service the entire state. We had contracts where the and this is all government shit too. So, the state had to come, each government and municipality had to get their parts for their equipment that we serviced and were a dealer of through us. Environmental Products Group, EPG. You can look them up. And it's just pure fucking capitalism. The dude that I replaced, not the guy before me, but the guy before him, died. I don't know the story. He went home from work, sat down to eat, fucking died. I don't know why. Uh, you know, I, I'm not. Back then, the job wasn't really that stressful. I mean, it could have been. It was at times, but as I got as I was there long enough to learn more, it did become less stressful through that. But then, years later, we got very busy. Like I said, we had to relocate to a bigger building and all that, and it was still just me and parts. So essentially, then I was doing the work of 3 people. Finally, I was ready to leave. Soon after that, man, I just couldn't handle all the workload. Really, it was stressful. I had to just bust ass. I had to work really smart, and even kind of cut some corners here and there on just on procedure, not anything, not any quality of work or anything like that, just some procedural stuff. It was like, well, it's just going to be easier to order and ship all that shit at once rather than multiple shipments. That takes up more time. That's basically all it is. This motherfucking company, this motherfucking company fires me twice. Twice. The whole time I worked there, I'm like so busy and so stressed. Whether I'm out in the shop, no matter what I'm doing, I'm always answering the phone. Like if I'm at my desk, answering the phone is, it's pretty easy. Like I got a pen and paper right there. My hands aren't filthy. I don't have fucking oil or some shit all over my, or literally shit, because we were literally a shit company. We sewer cameras, uh, sewer camera parts is what I sold, the parts. Sewer trucks, suction trucks, vacuum trucks, sewer vacuum trucks, and street sweepers, and all the parts associated. So I mean, it was literally shit. So now I was out in the shop area where all the big parts were, and shipping and receiving, and unloading trucks or loading trucks with a forklift or whatever, whether it was shipping or receiving. All that shit. Still got to answer the phone. Like, come on, man. Somebody else fucking answer the phone if I'm not at my desk. So again, it's just, to make a long story short, it was way, way more duties than possible for one fucking person. And then they finally did hire like a helper. And that fucker, Kristen Palin, she would sit at her desk and play fucking solitaire half the day, most of the day, and answer the phones. But she'd also come out in the shop and go, "It's for you. Can you take a fucking message? My hands are filthy. I'm fucking doing my shit that I need to do in the fucking warehouse. Give me a fucking minute to do this task and not be interrupted so I can fucking finish it. And I can call the motherfucker back later, Like just shit, man. It's just stress upon stress upon stress. So long story short, I get fucking second time I got wrongfully fired, and it started out as a write-up. I was written up because so our oh yeah, so I gotta tell you about the Johnsons, the fucking Johnsons. Kevin Johnson, who turned out to be found out he got fired from his last job for stealing shit. So let's make him regional parts manager over the whole company. There you go. There you go. He's regional parts manager. A thief, a piece of shit, a known thief and piece of shit. And his daughter is now the parts lead at the Atlanta branch where I was at, of course. And she's parts lead, and she lies to people. She doesn't send their parts. She goes ahead and she'll invoice them for their parts before she's even fucking ordered the parts or the parts get to the customer. So the customer's calling me. I'm answering the phone, and they're calling me going, "Where's my parts?" I'm like, "Man, I have no fucking idea," because when I came back after my first firing, I was just taking care of the service techs parts. I was just service parts. That was short lived. I was told, don't get stressed out. If you get stressed out, come to us for, you've got a team. That was Kevin, the dad, Kristen, who I mentioned earlier, who's entire piece of shit, fucking useless. Not that any of the rest of them were any better either. So, you've got a team, Joey. Don't stress yourself out. Don't let yourself get stressed out. So they all fucking, the Johnson family and other parts people from other locations are in a training class for a week in Las Vegas. During that week, we're doing restructuring, moving around, shifting around, and building on to the building in the shop area where the big shop service parts live that are too big and heavy to live inside in the little in the parts room inside the store, inside the main building. And they were setting it up so fucking tight that you couldn't even fucking get to the parts with a forklift because there was just no fucking room. They didn't make enough room. And they hired these temps to they hired a temp to help us do the move, and one of which who was really assigned to us to help us pull the parts. Well, they fired all those fucking guys while everybody was in Vegas. There was an accident by one of them, not the parts pulling guy. He needed that job so badly, and they fucked him. They totally fucked him by firing him. He didn't even do anything wrong. It's so fucking sad, man. So he lost his job too for no fucking reason because another temp guy fucked up and ran over somebody with a forklift. That happened. Yeah. And then they fired fucking all the temps, including the temp that was actually helpful. So now I'm doing the work of 3 people this week while they're out of town. And I get 3 massive major rebuilds. So I'm just to pull all the parts that we have in stock and order all the other shit. And that was going to take hours that I didn't have. And my buddy Kristen, yeah, Kristen's going to help you out. That whole week, she took 1 fucking order. She processed 1 fucking order. And, of course, she didn't get in trouble. She didn't get in trouble for not doing a goddamn thing because she never does. It doesn't work like that. And so because I cut corners and just said was like, well, I got to order all this shit anyway. I'm gonna have to reorder it on a stock order once I pull, everything and there was no place to put the parts because they were big parts, and we were rearranging the entire shop anyway. So there was no place to put the shit. There's no place to stage this shit. This is 3 giant fucking rebuilds. So I was like, it just makes sense. I can continue to do my work and keep the workflow going and as caught up as best as I can and be able to answer the phones if I just order all the parts, and I'll do it on 3 separate orders so that so that when they come in, for the most part, they're palleted and ready to be moved around by the forklift. Not a lot of scatter, not a big pile of huge pile of shit, because everywhere was a pile of shit because we're fucking remodeling and moving everything around, right? Remodeling inside. So anyway, I got written up because somebody high up, Chris Vanderhoff, didn't get his fucking precious little bonus on inventory levels because I ordered parts that we had already in stock. Again, that was just for ease of being able to keep everything together and find a place to put it, and in the meantime, until it was time to actually do the job for the techs and the guys in the shop. What a fucking nightmare, dude. So they write me up for that, and they're ganging up on me. They're fucking ganging up on me. It's like it's after work, it's time for me to go home, and they call me into a meeting. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And they're just making me feel like a useless piece of shit. Like I'm just a fuck up for doing that, for doing the work of 3 fucking people. I figured out how to get the work done and not fuck anything ever, but because some goddamn higher up didn't get his little fucking little tip, he's pissed off and wants me written up. And I said, no, I'm not signing that shit. That's bullshit. And then they were like, well, you should have asked for help. I fucking did ask for help. Kristen took 1 fucking order. She processed 1 fucking order that entire goddamn week. Does that help me? Really? Does that help me? It's just a shit show. So, not knowing this, the whole time, the fucking service manager in Memphis still has a job. He was found, he was using his work phone to meet a girl underage in a sting operation during hours. I think I mentioned that on his work phone, got fucking busted. And, while that whole thing was waiting to go to trial, he didn't get fired. They had to replace his phone because, of course, the police kept his phone. That was fucking evidence. All the evidence is right there in his company phone. He was doing this shit during work hours, leaving the job to go and talk to a customer. No, it was not a customer. It's so fucking dirty, dude. So fucking dirty. So my job literally fucking protected this fucking pedophile while they fired me. And now he's in jail, and of course he doesn't have a job. And the father daughter, fucking parts fiasco, the company wide regional parts manager, Kevin winds up slugging a female coworker at work, and he's in jail. So that's hence the title: Bullshit Jobs Protecting Pedophiles. Just fucking bullshit jobs, man. Just fucking, I'm so fucking glad that I don't have to ever go back and do any of that shit. And if I really do, I do have to go back. I'm about out of money. I'm about out of money, but fuck it. It's not goddamn fucking worth it to go back to bullshit like that. I can never, ever work a 9 to 5 as long as I live. It's all a fucking lie. It's slavery. It's fucking class and who likes who and who's cool with who kind of bullshit. These people are fucking protected, and it's just disgusting. So fucking disgusting. I hope everything's still going, man. I don't know if I lost all right. I hope. I don't know if I lost this or what. I'm going to keep going, hoping that it's on. Go through my notes here. Because, yeah, in a while. So, all right. Got another. I came across an old coworker, another old coworker who was just a true, true pile of shit. Try to find it here. So, this person. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Thank you, and thank you, wifey. Also confirming. Yeah, it looked like my feed stopped or something. But, so I used to work at this bike shop. I only worked there for 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. I worked with a lady that was so fucking nasty. One of the nastiest people I've ever worked with. Um, I was, having to learn a new brand, this new job, a new operating system, the computer operating system, just everything. And I'm trying to learn. And usually, I'm a very driven person and I want to make the business money. I want to, you know, I don't make enough money. So I'm trying to do a good enough job to get a raise constantly, constantly. All right. So, and I need this fucking job, man. I've needed this fucking job. And this person was so fucking nasty, dude. I only worked there for like 2 or 3 weeks. I wound up that this person she would not help me, help teach me anything about parts, about the operating system, nothing. She just would basically just like watch me struggle, laugh at me, and not help me. And so, and of course I talked to everybody about it, and they all said, yeah, we're, and they liked me, so they were like, we we are we got to figure something out with her, for now. We got to keep her because she knows how to do the job and shit like that, which is very important, obviously. But we also know nobody can work with her, and she sucks, as far as like her attitude, and she's just a piece of shit. I hope she's not, because I'm gonna read our text, because I came across her profile on Facebook through comments or something on a friend's page or a known, someone I know. And I said, first I just want to, make sure, hey, did you work at Blue Moon Cycles? And yes, good or bad. Well, I'll read it to you. You were the meanest, nastiest person I've ever worked with. Even worse than Golden Spoon-fed boy Bobby Roldridge, who was another piece of shit from another BMW dealer that I did work at for like 5 years. And his parents sucked they sucked their own son's cock. It was nasty. They let him get away with fucking anything. He was a piece of shit. All the employees. So that's why I threw his name in there, because they were also a BMW dealer as well. So to go back to the top of this, you were the nastiest, meanest person I've ever worked with. Even worse than Golden Spoon-fed fuckboy Bobby Woodridge. Have a nice extinction. I'm so happy that people like you will never roam this earth again. He doesn't remember me, he's trying to, like, I'm trying to remember you. Sorry, Joey doesn't ring a bell. Jason, who worked there. Any hands? Yes, who was the quiet one, always dressed in black. Jason did all the vintage parts. I never had a problem with him. Paulus, he was parts manager. Paulus, all quiet, kind of dull. Well, there you go. Yeah, you think everybody's fucking dull. That's not you, fucking cunt. Some high school kid, no name. The manager was young gentleman, sorry, no name. Paulus was the manager. So this is just how shitty she is, how shitty of a person she is. She trying to remember the other people that were there, and all she remembers about them is negative, just negative things. And I know I do that too. But Paulus, there wasn't anything negative about Paulus, but he was a nice guy. I liked working with him. He liked me. He said, "Please don't quit." Even when I told him, I said, dude, when I called him, because I woke up one morning and I said, oh my fucking God, dude, if I have to work with her, I'll kill her. Oh, and I've never hit a woman. I haven't thrown a punch since I was in like elementary school. I'm not the kind of, I'm not an aggressive person, but you're not gonna fucking put me in a corner to the point where I'm not gonna fucking lash out. And I knew I was gonna lash out and would probably be arrested or something. You know, it's so I said I can't ever go back there. I can never fucking go back there. So I called Paulus up that morning. I said, sorry, man, I got up and tried to, go to work. And I was like, I can't leave the house. And it's not just today. It's not just today because I would go there and avoid her. I would be like, well, I need to learn parts because that's my job, but I can also wash motorcycles. I can clean motorcycles. I can wipe shit down. I had enough shit, busy work that I would find to keep me away from her and just let her, do parts and just me try to just, help where I could. But just otherwise, just fucking do busy work. That even the owner would have me go to his house and let his dogs out, shit like that, because he lived right down the road. And he knew I was a trustworthy guy, so I mean, he wasn't afraid to throw me his keys. I've never fucking stole a penny from my goddamn parents. Let alone anyone else. You can throw me your keys to your ranch, your fucking, your Escalade or whatever the fuck. I'm not gonna fuck it up. I'm not gonna, yeah. So people know that about people. That's one thing that I know we have a legacy and shit when we die. All that shit is gone and dead. I will never. The worst. Nobody will ever be able to say, yeah, fucking Joey Casey, man, that guy. Well, he didn't rip me off. He never hurt me. Never did anything. But man, he was sure a dumbass, dude. That guy just he didn't get it, man. He was a dumbass, and he didn't understand how the world worked or something, man. He was a dumbass. No, motherfucker, I do understand how the world works. That's why I'm not fucking married 3 times with fucking 15 children, and fucking people over and yeah. So that's all and then that's really all I want to get into that with this coworker. It was just a shitty fucking person. They were still messaging me today trying to figure out who I was. And I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have a fucking right to know who the fuck I am because I know the fuck you were because I worked with you and you ruined that fucking job. And I needed that fucking job. Like I said, I really needed that fucking job. So yeah, I think I covered the bullshit jobs with the environmental products people, and so let's get into the notes here. I'm gonna probably jump around a little bit, just going through my notes because, like I said, nothing's really in order. I just want to kind of get stuff off my chest, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and get something out of it too. Feel the frustration of your life through my details, I guess. This is something I put on Twitter that I thought was worthy to share with you guys. When there's no beauty left in the world, seek beauty in nothingness. A lifeless planet is as vegan as it gets. We're nothing but grains of sand. And that kind of goes along with ephilism. I'd mentioned earlier, interviewing my friends at The Right to No Longer Exist, who are antinatalists and ethilists and understand, and they really do understand, and I really appreciate their understanding and sharing that with me and their friendship as well. And Blaze, who I've interviewed twice now on this channel, who I met through The Right to No Longer Exist as well. Check out Blaze's channel, Ethel Blaze. Ethel is life spelled backwards. Ethylism is just the simplicity that if none of us were ever born, we would have never suffered. Therefore, it's best to never be born. Again, that's why I didn't have kids, because I knew that. I saw that. I didn't know the philosophy behind it. and there's a lot of philosophy behind those thoughts that I'm learning more and more about now, which I think really should identify and resonate with people who understand human extinction, and especially people from McPherson's group, the Nature Bats Last group, and with all the information that that you get when you look at the science, and the science that the guy points out and what he says about that and everything else. It's very easy to see. I already knew we were done. I couldn't find the truth in the science until I found Guy's work, who was pointing out everything that I was fucking looking for, but didn't know where to look until somebody like Guy pointed me in the right direction. I mean, I'm so disgusted where the world, that, and this goes back to, this is how fucked up humanity is. Okay, fuck, dude. We're so we're so goddamn fuck. We're such fucking assholes. We don't even know how to not fuck children. Think about that. Think about that. I'm gonna say that again. We are such a fucking broken species. We are so disgusting. We don't even fucking know how to not fuck children. The fuck are we doing, people? What the fuck is that? That is that is goddamn embarrassing. I haven't had to try too fucking hard to not fuck a kid. It's not really that fucking hard to not fuck kids. And and that's my last fucking job I lost because I couldn't fucking do the work of 3 people. Really? But you're fucking pedophile boy service manager in Memphis, well, let's just see how it goes. And you still have a job. Let's see how it goes. And now he's in fucking jail. Now he doesn't have a job, but until then, his job was protected. Um, you know, and you fucking dumbass, dude. You know, yeah, don't fuck kids, but if you're gonna do it, don't do it on your phone or on the internet and shit like that. Do it the fucking old school way. Go to church. You meet the kid. It's right there. You know the kid. You meet his parents, and parents fall in love with you too. And they're like, yeah, you can come pick up little Johnny anytime and fucking rail him, and just bring him back if you don't, we'll figure it out. I'm sure you're a good Christian. Seems like a good Christian loving guy. So you know what? Free reign, right? Have my kids. And we're fucking stupid, dude. We're fucking stupid. We're disgusting, and we just keep making more. Just keep fucking making more. God, no wonder. I still can't believe we're still here. I can't believe we're still here. We won't be here much longer. It's over with quick. Um, money has replaced love, friendship, values, good business ethics, working relationships. Everything has been completely fucking ruined by money and just collapse of society, personal human collapse. It's just this dystopian world we've fucking created for ourselves, and we fucking go vote for it every few months. We vote for all this shit that fucking gets piled upon us. We vote for that. We vote against our own health care. God, man, we vote for the fucking nastiest of the politicians, thinking that that they love us too. God damn, morons! Almost 8 billion of us now. Almost 8 billion Homo sapiens. We're at the point of we're fucking morons. Jesus Christ. And yeah, last week was National Suicide Awareness Week. Fuck suicide awareness or prevention awareness. Prevention. Fuck that. I called it National Suicide Awareness Promotion Week. Let's fucking figure out how to do it and let's get it done. You know, We don't have much longer anyway. I don't care if you're healthy or not. We're almost done here. We're in late stage overshoot, collapse. Um, and animals too, man. I really do cherish the animals that I kept. Being a reptile keeper and as dedicated as I was, I'm really proud of of all that and everything. And I feel like I did a good job for the most part. I did some dumb shit. I made some dumb mistakes, and no different than any other parent. I knew not to have kids, and now looking back on everything, and I never once my reptiles were became of age to breed, I got to the point to where no, man, I can't add more life to this shitty world. There's not going to be the people that are going to buy this baby animal and raise it up properly and give it a good life. Partially because there's no time. If that animal does get lucky and gets to get home, just like the home I was provided for the parents to be able to keep them healthy and to breed and everything. Um, they're they're all about to fucking die and suffer. And even if they weren't, eventually they're going to suffer throughout their life. Eventually, even if they live a good life, they're going to get old and suffer and die. And at least with animals, we can take them to the vet, have them humanely euthanized. We can't do that with people because we suck. We just fucking suck when it comes to each other. We make ourselves suffer. We embrace the suffering. Oh man, did you see how hard he fought? That was wow. What a champion. What a champion. He suffered to the last minute, fought to the last minute. That's disgusting. That is utterly stupid. That's even dumber than going, he was working 48-hour, 24-hour shifts for 7 days at a time. And man, it's so pathetic. It's so fucking dystopian, stupid. I don't even want a fucking cat or a dog because we're going extinct. We're gonna have to even figure out like, oh shit, now it's that day where we're gonna die or we're gonna have to make the decision to implement our kit or whatever. Now you've got another animal, a dog or a cat or whatever, to deal with. And again, that's why I'll never ever have another animal as short as we have left because I don't want that fucking responsibility. you know uh I wish I wish it would just fucking end peacefully for everybody. We wouldn't have to fucking deal with it. You know, and also last week was 9/11. Oh my fuck, I'm so fucking sick of the patriotism and the pro-war and the militarism and support. Fuck all that. I wish people would remember what 9/11 for what it really the fuck was. It was the start of World War III, created by a self-inflicted wound by America on America, the Bush administration, and even the Democrats, because nobody on the Democrat side was going, hey, this is kind of fishy. We should look at that. No, no. It was the whole, and that's the way it always is. It's the both sides of the system, the Democrats and Republicans working together, pretending to argue or pretending to care for you, meanwhile not really saying the facts and doing anything about it. Even if somebody says something, nothing ever fucking nothing changes for the better. Nothing changes. Again, I wish people would remember what really fucking happened on 9/11. Controlled demolitions, Building 7 and the Pentagon. What the fuck hit the Pentagon? It wasn't a goddamn plane. It's just, again, self-inflicted wound, to gain support for global war for oil. If anything, it was the Saudis were helping doing the hijackings and all that shit. But instead, we we didn't do anything to the Saudis. We even fucking flew Bin Laden out. Bin Laden's family, not Bin Laden himself, but Bin Laden's family. There were family members who are here. We fucking flew them out while the planes are grounded. You can get home if you were stranded somewhere because your flight got got rerouted or canceled. You were stuck somewhere while the fucking Bin Laden family had a fucking smooth ride home and free air skies. They didn't even need a fucking air traffic controller because there was no planes other than in the United States airspace other than military, and there wasn't a lot of military because it was all done. Um, just such bullshit, man. It's a global fucking war for oil. Now we've 20 years later, here we are out of oil, running out of oil. It's the fucking end. It's the fucking end. This country is just a toilet bowl center of human stupidity and ego. Like Stand Up says, we are so fat and stupid and ignorant, we don't think we have to pay the cover charge because we're America. We're special. Yeah, we're special ed. That's as special as we fucking get. Oh, and thank you, Rita. And somebody, I read something, that I don't saying it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Well, I got bad news. She's singing right now, and it's more like when you no longer hear the music, it's over. And I love art and entertainment and intelligent art and entertainment too. I don't hear that anymore. So the fat lady is definitely no longer singing, because if she is, it ain't fucking. There's no art in it, and it's just like the Peanuts cartoons. Wah, wah, when the teacher would talk, wah 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 wah. And I was a kid, I used to be like, how come I don't understand that? The teacher's talking. I need to. I want to understand what they're teaching the peanut kids. And no, now I understand. It's because it's fucking pointless. That's why because teachers don't teach. Teachers are created and allowed and hired by the system to literally not teach and just teach bullshit and stupidity. And then they go home every night and go, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher. I'm somebody. The world wouldn't the world wouldn't spin if it weren't for me. We have to, everything that we learned in public school, we had to fucking unlearn in order to learn how to be fucking smart and intelligent and learn the truth and how to protect ourselves against all these lies and all this bullshit that we've been forced into. Oh my God. And a friend told me about, this was in one of our private Zooms, about there's a 996 lay flat movement. And I'd never heard about that. So I was really curious from what they were saying, because it was like basically a labor movement. So I found a really good story. This is from February of this year in the BBC. Lying flat: why some Chinese workers, laying flat: why some Chinese are putting work second. And this is a really good article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll just skim through some highlights. This person says, I'm continuing to get rid of the negative energy in my life. I think 2022 will be an upgrade on 2021. Not in collapse, not in human extinction, jokes on you, but good for positive thinking. I know you're trying, so I'll continue on. But I don't want to do anything. I will continue to lie flat. I enjoy the state of lying flat. And they call this person Jeff, not his real name, obviously, to to hide the identity of the innocent, in this case, truly innocent. Usually, it's to hide the identity of guilty. This person obviously is overworked and underpaid. That's a definition of innocence, in my opinion. So when this person left their home city of Hangzhou, I probably fucked it up, for a highly paid job as an app developer in Beijing several years ago, like many young Chinese professionals, work became his life. The little spare time he had outside work, he spent playing what he describes as mindless computer games. I know what that's about. He didn't develop a social circle in his new adopted city and eventually gave up trying. I know what that's about. But when the pandemic hit, life as he knew it came to an abrupt stop. Like many other workers, COVID made him reassess his priorities in life. Chatting with the artist, friends back in his hometown, it struck him how, although they had little money, they always had something interesting to say about their day and what they were up to while he was hard at work. So basically, I don't want to spend too much time on the lay flat movement. Is these people are, it's 996. You work from 9 to 6 every day. No, sorry. You work from 9 to 9, 12 hours a day. 9 to 9, 12 hours a day for 6 days a week, 996. That's fucked, dude. That is fucked. That doesn't even give you enough time to sleep properly, eat properly, enjoy your day properly, unwind properly, so you can, even just reset your batteries and go back. It's a life of fucking servitude. And it's not just happening in China and other places like that. Even while Trump was president that last term, man, he got so many laws passed and overturned about our 40-hour work week and benefits that we deserve. We lost more health care. We lost our 8-hour work days. We lost our overtime pay. We lost all that shit. And people still fucking, Trump 2022 or 2024 flags or whatever the fuck it is, whatever they say. It's fucking disgusting, man. These are our fellow citizens, so fucked, man. We're so fucked. And again, exit plans, man. I can't stress that shit enough. We are so fucked. We are absolutely fucked. And yeah, the idea of laying flat is that you're taking a break from relentless work. So you can look up that and read more about it. I think it's a wonderful action. It's right action. That's all we can do. There's no only love remains. It's fucking bullshit. Only personal right action remains. Yeah, just only personal right action is really all that we have left, and that's with having an exit plan that is going to work, that you can execute. And let me get back to my notes here. Just people, man, other people. Why the fuck are people this stupid? Um, you know, life is inherently difficult and pointless. And I think some autistic people, you can really see that in how there's certain things that they're brilliant at, some of them, and then there are things that seem normal to us, but it's not normal for them. It seems normal to us because of the system. The system makes it normal. Then when you look at the world through the eyes of an autistic person, you can kind of see some of where their hardships come into play. And I think autistic people are really special in that they can show us how fucked up our system and our ways are. So I think that's really important. Unfortunately, nobody recognizes that with autistic people, and if they, if there's somebody that has a brilliant math brain that you can say, hey, in 1962, December 4th, what day was it? You go, oh, it was a Tuesday. And they're right. And I'm not saying it was Tuesday because I don't fucking know. I'm making an example. But when they say they're right, and they are right, you do that, you look it up and like, holy shit, how the fuck? Yeah, they can do stuff like that. They can't hold a job. Maybe there's something really wrong with how we are employed and go to work and do our jobs. And maybe that's the fucking issue. Not the autistic kid, not the autism. It's our fucking system. So I just fucking wanted to rant about that. And you know, and I'll tell you, speaking of which, like, so there are no fucking jobs. Jobs are fucking dead. They're bullshit. Most any of us, we all probably need to work tomorrow. We all probably need money tomorrow. The only place we can go get a job is fucking McDonald's, Domino's Pizza, food service, bullshit, minimum wage, while the inflation goes up and the cost of living skyrockets. People can't fucking afford, and I could work at McDonald's and wash dishes and shit when I was a kid. When I was young, yeah, I could fucking keep up with the busy pace somewhat enough, get it done, and go to sleep for 4 hours and get up and do it twice again while I went to school all day in between. I can't fucking do that anymore. You get older and your body can't do that shit. You can't work as fast, can't work as hard. Same thing with my bullshit job at my last job. I eventually couldn't keep up with the workload. Couldn't do all the shit, all the heavy lifting and making pallets and crates and stuff and shipping stuff at my old job all the time while doing everything else on top of that. Really, really the only good job that's left, if you can be a meteorologist, so that means you pretty much have to be a really good-looking woman, and you have to lie and say the weather for Coke Day at the golf course is going to be beautiful. Because if you say, "Oh man, weather's really fucked up. Jet stream is broken. Looks like we might not be able to grow crops anymore in this region," or whatever, you can't say that. You're gonna get fucking fired. You can't say that shit. So you have to lie and be this pretty meteorologist. That's the only fucking jobs that remain. So good luck with that. And I wanted to talk more too about ephilism and antinatalism, and I really think that they should be added. That should be added to the final stages of grief. So as many of you know about 6 stages of grief, through learning about human extinction, how the climate's going to shit, the economy is crashing, everything's just all in all systems are about to be aborted. We're about to nuke each other. Everything that's going on, it's all connected. It's all one system that is failing on top of every piece of that system failing in late stage failure. So there are 6 stages of grief. And again, I really think ephilism and antinatalism need to be added to that, because it really is kind of full circle. And in realizing and it's accepting, there is a lot of beauty and self-healing in that realization. And I'll explain what I mean here. First, I want to go over the 6 stages of grief, so that we can all kind of recap that. The first stage is denial, and then there's anger, and then comes the bargaining stage, followed by the depression stage, and then once you go through all that, you can become into acceptance with it all, and then the last is finding meaning. So those are all really good examples of 6 stages of grief by the Grief Recovery Institute. And I'll go through that a little bit more in detail. You can also go back and forth in between stages. You can be all the way at acceptance or finding meaning and have a fucking breakdown or a bad day and go right back to anger or right back to denial, wherever you go. That's the whole thing too about the stages of grief is you do often tend to go back and forth. And that's normal, I think. So again, the first stage is denial. And and just to tell you my story, I was never a denialist at all, I don't think. Even as a small child, I saw through, I didn't know the terms, like I told you earlier. 3 to 5 years old, I saw overpopulation. I saw kids living in apartments that didn't have a yard to play in. At least I had a fucking yard to play in. Other kids didn't have that. So I never really had much. I was never really much of a denier, even as a child. And in anger, my mom was angry. She was always angry at the wrong shit. She'd be. I was always angry that nobody saw how fucked up shit was, and I was wrong. I was told I was wrong. It's not that bad, Joey. You got to work hard, and you got to figure it out, or you got to find something, or get a hobby, or just the dumb shit that people say, to avoid the reality that it's fucked up. It's truly fucked up. I started out. One of my first memories as a kid is eating my own vomit, and things just never really got much better after that. Having the shit beat out of me by stepmom, and then even my own mom and stepdad when I lived there. Some of the ways they treated me, some of the ass beatings I got that I truly did not deserve. I literally got my ass beat once. I got slapped in the face really hard and yanked up and lifted up by my shirt and neck, and thrown up against the wall and held there like this at my parents' shop with other coworkers around like this, because I couldn't pay my insurance. I couldn't afford my insurance on my truck when I was 16. Even though I bought my own truck, I saved up my own money, bought my own truck. And it was a piece of shit. It was a $1,500 truck at the time. That would have been about 1989, somewhere around in there. Not even then. It was 1988 or 7. It was earlier than that. And so, yeah, it was a lot of money for my insurance and working at McDonald's and going to school. I was still in high school. I couldn't afford, and I didn't even need a truck anyway, because I could ride my bike to work at McDonald's. I could ride my bike to school, or I could take the bus to school. The only reason I even had a truck was trying to get insurance because I wanted to race BMX. I wanted to race my bicycle. And in order to do that, that's why I needed a truck. So I also needed to pay my insurance, and I need money to enter these races, because it's going to cost to travel. It's going to cost the money to enter the races, eat on the road and shit like that. And it didn't add up. So just because I couldn't even fucking afford my own way, my stepdad fucking grabbed me by the throat, slapped the shit out of me, and threw me up against the wall and fucking choked me. Fuck all that, man. Fuck you, Barry Higgins. Fuck you, Patty Higgins. Fuck all of you. So back to the 6 stages of depression. Bargaining. I was never really a bargainer. I knew I was fucked, so that was easy stage for me. Depression. I've pretty much always been depressed because I've known what I was up against. I knew I was fucked. I knew my parents weren't going to help me. They still think that we live in 1960 and you can work at McDonald's and save for a house and save for a car and pay your bills, and and the whole Reaganomics thing never happened. Everything's just hunky dory, because my mom did work at McDonald's and was able to save money and get a vehicle, and and a house or whatever, she was able to, to actually make money back then. Yeah, that was, again, different times. And these especially old fuckers, man, they think that nothing has changed. They think that they don't see corruption, they don't see collapse in the years of all this shit adding up. And uh, damn, that's why. Yep, I'm on. There's plenty of jobs out there. I just need to go. I can get myself together, and go get a job. Um, I've done that my entire life, and it didn't pan out very well. Um, Acceptance. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. That's important. I was always accepted. I was already always in acceptance. Now, but also I was told I was wrong my entire life. So the first time that I found Guy's information, I saw him do an interview, and he talked about he was a scientist, but he's not religious. I thought that was huge, because what the fuck is science and religion? Science, they have nothing. They should not be connected at all. And every scientist you find is religious. That makes no fucking sense. It totally, in my mind, it completely fucking discredits them as a scientist. You cannot be a legit scientist and think there's a goddamn magic sky daddy or some fucking fairy tale bullshit. Go leave your fucking tooth, your old molar. Pull that out and leave it under your pillow, and tell me how the fucking. There's no fucking science in these fucking scientists. So finally, I come across a dude named Guy McPherson, who's a legit fucking scientist and a conservation biologist. He's talking real shit. The shit that I've been trying to find, knowing that it was true, but I'm looking for the evidence and the proof to, just for me, just for my own fucking sanity. And how fucking beautiful it was that he agreed to meet me for lunch passing through Atlanta. And I cried in the shower on the way to work, in the shower for the next 3 days, knowing that this was all real. We were definitely going extinct. I wasn't crazy. This is, this guy is a real deal. What I know is correct. And it was part of acceptance, and it was, because I had skipped. I was mostly able to really skip the bargaining in the depression stages. Finding meaning is very difficult. Most people, that's the last stage of grief, and most people do not find meaning. That is, if you're very lucky, very privileged. Only privileged people can find meaning. If you're just fucking in a field or a desert, and you're just fucking starving and thirsting and withering away, really, what the fuck are you going to do to find meaning? You're going to start a tribe? You're going to start a Zoom group, or like, there's finding meaning should not even be a part of the 6 stages of grief, because finding meaning is just privilege, and most people don't have that. It's just that simple. But again, ephilism, antinatalism should be added as the final stage of grief, because that's when you can look at Mars, you can look at Venus, you can look at the moon, and see there's nothing there but dirt and rocks, and there's no oxygen, there's no water, there's no life. Maybe tardigrades, which won't even survive here because of how fucked up we've ruined the planet. But even then, I can finally see beauty in that there is no suffering. These planets, you look around for life and suffering, and you won't find it. The only suffering you're going to find is you having food on there and having to have this life support apparatus, that you're in, to keep you alive while you're there. If none of us were alive, no other sentient beings were ever created, then eventually all the suffering would be gone. That's acceptance of extinction, planetary extinction, planetary annihilation. And that's why I think ephilism and antinatalism is very important. to those of us that know the science, know we're fucked. And that's a way to, that's another level of acceptance that we can kind of go to bed at night and go, and when I go to bed at night, man, I literally just think about a lifeless planet and the beauty, and that there's no suffering, there's no fucking factory farms, you know, there's no kids getting bullied in school, there's no kids with missing a limb, or they have autism or Down syndrome, or none of that shit. There's cancer. There's none of it. You can throw all the cancer cells in an environment like that you want, and they're just gonna fucking die because there's no life on a lifeless planet. And that is the beauty. We weren't suffering before we got here. We got here kicking, screaming, and throwing fits, and then we got greedy and we got stupid. And now we're about to annihilate it all. So good fucking riddance to us, man. Just good fucking riddance. Get us the fuck out of here. Get it fuck over. I love what my friend Joe Black recently said. To those who still think we need money to survive, you must feel pretty stupid by now. If not, you're just plain stupid. I'll add to that most people believe that, even if it's just their own sanity, that climate change is a hoax, and 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 then they become homeless and die due to the elements. You know, the irony of having ordered my all the parts to complete my kit and everything, my kit. I'm suddenly now I'm a welder, because I just get all these fucking welding pop-up ads. Hey, Mr. Welder, check out our welding mask, half off this week, and it's like, what a fucking marketing shithole of a society that we've created. I mean, it's just a fucking lie. It's just fucking capitalism to fucking death. Sick. It's disgusting. Let's hurry the fuck up and get it over with. We have the lottery today. Not a single intelligent person has ever won the lottery. Nobody's been able to win the lottery and go, I want to make this positive impact on humanity and make a positive change. It's not going to happen. We're too stupid for even somebody like me who doesn't play the lottery, because I know it's a fucking game, and I know what the odds are, and my dollar is worth more to me in my pocket than on a fucking lottery ticket. But people play the lottery because that's all we have, right? That's the fucking American dream now. It's the last fucking hope for the American dream. And yeah, not a single intelligent person has ever won or will ever win the lottery and be able to make any kind of fucking impact or change. Or just destructive morons. And with all the droughts, man, it looks like the planet is pretty fucking thirsty, right? Every fucking continent, most region on every continent is in a fucking drought. It's not just the west side of the 48 states, it's most of the 48 states. Even Alabama is drying up. I'm in Georgia. Even in fucking Alabama, that shit is drying up all the way that far east. We are so fucked. Without water, we don't live for more than a few hours, really, maybe a day. We don't live for very long, literally just a few hours without water. And that's where we're at. And people are, talking about sending their kids to college and moving out west, or moving to this area or that area. It's fucking insane. It's totally fucking insane. That's God, this extinction, and collapse will be like no other that humanity has ever faced. We've never faced extinction. Even though we're the ninth species of Homo sapiens have never experienced extinction. And to the scale that we're at with overshoot and all the shit we've done to this planet, nuclear power plants that are going to melt down when we stop, when we collapse, it's going to go to shit quick, and after we're gone, of course, back to, the whole ephilism and, the whole ephilism and antinatalist thing, and that when there is no water on this planet, the oceans are evaporated and everything, then finally Earth will know peace. That is when Earth will truly know peace. Of course, we'll be long gone. There's not going to be any fucking peace with a human on the planet. That's for damn sure. I think. Oh wow. I think that's. I didn't realize I'd gone on that long. I think that's it. We'll kind of wrap it up from here. Let me check Zoom and see if anybody's in the Zoom. Because if anybody wanted to come in and talk and have a chat, you're welcome to. I'll open up a Zoom room right now. I don't see anybody there, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Because folks, I gotta go anyway. I'll close out the show with a limerick from my good friend Benjamin the Donkey. I love Benjamin. Faster than expected. The facts had long been suspected from evidence they had detected, but duty and trust, behavior that's just, and science wasn't respected. They considered the data collected, then the right thing to do they rejected. The lies that they spread, now we're all walking dead. So it's over faster than expected. Benjamin Donkey, great limerick, spot on. Love you guys. Email me at practicetrack@yahoo.com. Join the private Zooms. And I'm about to piss my pants.